Hey guys, we have seen more and more fifth wheels on the market that are under 30 feet long, and today we have three awesome models to show you in our tour, so stick around folks, you're going to want to check these out. Hey guys, Mike from RV Blogger here in front of the camera, and Susan's behind the camera. And if you've seen us before on YouTube, welcome back to the channel. And if this is your first time seeing us, welcome aboard. Susan and I shoot tons of videos all about RVing. And we also have a few websites where we write tons of blog articles as well. So we invite you to sign up for our newsletters, and when you do, you'll get a free subscription to RV Today magazine as well. So you'll get the magazine every month and a half, you'll get our newsletters every week, and you'll be very, very informed RVers. Now we have a link up here in the top corner, and we'll also put a link in the show notes down below, so you can shoot over to the RV Blogger website and get all signed up today. But without any further ado, let's get started on our review of awesome fifth wheels that are less than 30 feet long. This fifth wheel is the Keystone Cougar, model number 2100 RK. It has an unloaded vehicle weight of 6,815 pounds, a cargo carry capacity of 1,685 pounds, for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 8,500 pounds. The hitch weight is 1,120 pounds. It measures in at just 26 feet 3 inches, and it can sleep up to 6 people. When you walk into this fifth wheel, on the left-hand side is the rear kitchen, and then we wrap on around into the living and dinette area. Now, just up the steps behind me on my right is where the bathroom is located, and in the very front of this fifth wheel is where the master bedroom is. Now, our first impression upon walking in this fifth wheel is that it feels like a nice roomy area in here. Now, of course, it's under 30 feet, so everything is going to be very compact, and you're going to find multiple uses in the same place. For example, here in the main living area, this is your kitchen and your living room all at the same time. But they did a great job with the design, and we'll show you some of those features as we make our way through this walkthrough. Now, immediately on the left-hand side here, you'll notice all this beautiful cabinetry up top. It looks really great with the stainless steel hardware. I just like these white doors. It just gives you a really nice kind of country feel in here, a very residential feel. And then you have tons of storage room behind all these cabinets. And you'll also notice that the backsplash extends up from the countertop and covers the whole entire back wall. And the reason that it is that way is because what they did is they made a wallpaper back wall. This isn't real tile, it's just peel and stick wallpaper. And you can do the same thing in your own fifth wheel if you want to. In fact, we wrote an article about this, best peel and stick backsplashes, on our website called traveltrailerpro.com. Just go there, type tile in the search bar, and you'll find the article, and you can do the same exact thing in your camper too. Now, as we make our way along here, on the right hand side we have a microwave oven. Then down below that we have a nice 3-burner range. And the great thing with this is it also comes with a real oven down below, so you can pop a pizza in there and cook away. Down below that, of course, instead of a drawer, they have this door, and it's a big open storage area for all of your large pots and pans that you might want to store under there. Now, as we make our way across the countertop, I love this countertop color, by the way. It's a nice gray color. It really blends in well with everything. Then we have this large single bowl sink with a big old gooseneck faucet and a sprayer as well. And then plenty of countertop space over here. Now, I also want to point out that there are receptacles and USB ports on both sides of the sink under the cabinets. So if you have a coffee maker, toaster, I don't know, air fryer, whatever, you can plug it in a few different places because you have so much countertop space in here. Now, down below the counter, there are 3 nice sized drawers over here for all of your kitchen utensils. There's also additional storage under the sink and also between the sink and the range. Now, as we wrap on around through the kitchen, this area is actually a slide out, so that's what helps it feel so nice and roomy in here when you walk in, because everything slides right on out. The refrigerator here is a very good size 12-volt fridge with a separate freezer. Lots and lots of space in there for all your cold storage. And then right next to that, we have this nice comfy couch. Now, the comfy couch is in a great position because directly across from here is where the TV is located, and that's also right above the dinette. But it's a great spot to be able to hang out here and see the TV very, very easily. And This couch is also multifunctional as well, and it actually converts out into a sofa bed, and I'll show you how that works. First thing you do is just remove the cushions, and then this just pulls up and out, and there's a couple little brackets on the bottom, and you put these out, and then this piece swings on down, and you have a nice size sofa bed here. So while we have the bed open, let's see what size this is, by the way. So this measures in at about 70 inches by 54 inches. So it would be like a short, full-size bed. Now, Susan brought up a great point. She was like, man, I don't know, this looks pretty uncomfortable to lay on. And I have a great solution for that. We do this in our own RV when we have the grandkids with us. We have a couple air mattresses. We inflate them. We can throw one on the floor, but you could also put an air mattress on here, and then you wouldn't feel all these different bumps from the 3 different cushions that you have, and this would be a much more comfortable sleeping situation with an air mattress. Now, before we talk about the dinette, I do want to just mention one nice feature here. It's kind of built in under the dinette, and that is they have a little shoe kick area here, so you can kick your shoes off and store them right underneath of this dinette bench. Now, the dinette itself, you know, it's a good sized dinette. Could easily seat 2 people, and you could squish 4 people in here if you wanted to, but it's a little bit tight for 4. Now, the table itself will drop down, and this will also create another bed, and if you did that, this bed would be about 67 inches by 40 inches. So a smaller adult or certainly a child would be able to sleep here very, very easily. There's also storage underneath of this dinette booth. The other dinette booth is where your shoe storage is. We also look for an outlet near a dinette because Susan and I know when we're in our RV, the dinette is kind of our workstation. So we like to have some kind of receptacle so we can plug in if we need to. And so, of course, there is a receptacle down on the bottom of this dinette booth that you can plug into right there. They don't like to put outlets in exterior walls very often, so that's why it's sort of in the dinette booth and not like up here on the wall. It would be more convenient, but that's the way it goes. Now, this has a nice big window over top of the dinette, which is a very nice feature. Also has a light above so you can light things up. And on top of that, there are, whoops, over here, it's a receptacle and USB ports underneath of the entertainment center there, so you can plug in that location as well. You'll also notice above me that's where the TV location is, and then of course there's tons of great storage on either side of the TV. Now, one other really nice feature to point out in here is this huge pantry cabinet. It's gigantic. You could store a ton of stuff in there. Could be pantry items, could be linen items, I don't know, but I mean, that's a huge storage cabinet. And then there's a couple of hooks on the wall here. It's kind of like a coat rack, and you can hang your coats right here on the wall. So let's head on upstairs to the front of this trailer and take a look at the bedroom and the bathroom. So here we are all the way at the front of this 5th wheel in the owner's bedroom. And you know, headroom's a little bit tight up here. It's not that unusual when the bedroom's in the very front for the headroom to be kind of tight, but there's also a little step up back here where you actually have to step up from the rest of the floor onto this platform where the bed is located. I have a feeling that's just to make sure everything fits because, again, we're at the front of this 5th wheel. Now, let's see what size the bed is in here. This mattress is 74 by 60, so it's definitely would be considered an RV short queen size bed. But one cool feature about this queen bed is that it does raise up, and there is some storage underneath that you can take advantage of down there. Now, on each side of the bed, you'll notice that there's a little closet on each side. There's also some storage up and above. Now, these doors, they don't have the hardware on them that holds them open when you open them, but you can buy that hardware very inexpensively and install it yourself so that you can use 2 hands if you need to get inside of these cabinets. Just a nice little convenience to have. Now, on each side of the bed, there's a really good sized nightstand, and the nightstands have open storage underneath of them, and then there's a receptacle and USB ports on both sides, so you can plug in any electronics before you go to bed, or if you have a CPAP machine, there's certainly plenty of room for that as well. Now, at the foot of the bed, there is a nice wardrobe closet here. The top closet is Has a hanging bar up top so you can hang all your garments in here, and there's still room to store things underneath of whatever you hang up. And then there are 3 large drawers down below for additional storage. And finally, the TV location is right here. It's in a perfect spot. You've got your receptacle, cable outlet. You can mount your TV right here and lay in bed, watch TV, and drift off to sleep at night. So here I am in the bathroom, and I'm standing in the shower like I usually do. Now, you guys all know, if you've seen our videos, I am 5'11", and when I'm standing in the shower, let's see how much ceiling height we have up into the skylight, which gives you, gosh, 80 inches or 6 feet 8 inches of space. The rest of the ceiling out here is about 6 feet 5 inches, so you actually have more headroom in the shower than the rest of this upper level anyway, which, you know, that's kind of cool, kind of unusual. But it's a great size shower. It's a little wider than most showers that we see, so it feels very roomy and comfortable in here. You have your nice removable shower wand, and on my left here, there's a little, you know, a little spot for your soap and shampoo. And then this actually has a retractable shower door, which is way better than a shower curtain. I love these because, you know, they stay right on the track. You open and close them. They're easy to use, and they're out of the way when you're not using it, and you don't have a shower curtain blowing in on you while you're taking a shower. Now, in the rest of the bathroom, here's your vanity location. You have a nice big mirrored medicine cabinet up top, and there's a shelf in there for plenty of storage. Down below that, we have a really great, nice size sink for the vanity sink. Really great looking faucet. A little bit of countertop space up here, which is always handy. And there's a receptacle just above the sink. So if you need to plug in a curling iron, blow dryer, shaver, what have you, you have everything you need right here. And then, of course, down below the sink, there's additional storage, and you even have 3 drawers to put more things away. So here I am sitting on the commode, and you'll notice there's a towel bar up above me here so you can hang your towels after your shower. But honestly, I feel like the commode is a little too close to the door because my shoulder's actually touching the door. Now, when the door is in the shut location, it does give me a little bit more room because, you know, the door moves, so I'm saving about 2 inches. This one's off the track, so I'll have to put it back on. But anyway, as far as the elbow test goes, not going to pass it there, but I will pass it on the other side. So in the front of this fifth wheel, you have this gigantic pass-through storage area. There's even an outlet and cable pre-wires out here. So if you want to hook up a TV, you certainly can do that. This fifth wheel is the Jayco Eagle model number 26 REC. It has an unloaded vehicle weight of 8,055 pounds. A cargo carry capacity of 1,695 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 9,750 pounds. The hitch weight is 1,615 pounds. It measures in at just 29 feet 5 inches long, and it can sleep up to 6 people. When you first walk into this fifth wheel, on the right-hand side and upstairs is where the bedroom and bathroom are located. Straight ahead, you come into your kitchen area, and then we wrap around into the living room towards the rear of this fifth wheel. Our first impression when we walked into this fifth wheel was a couple of things. First thing that I noticed, because this is one of my big pet peeves, is that the kitchen and dining area are their own area, and then the family room area is in its own area. Even though it's all one big room, it's all set up so that it makes sense. Very often we'll see, you know, movie theater seating in the kitchen with a TV above the kitchen cabinets. But in this RV, they have definitely separated the two areas, which really makes it feel a lot more homey and I think a little more luxurious as well. The other thing we noticed is on this wall, usually on 30-foot fifth wheels especially, there's shallow storage cabinets here. And we thought, oh, wow, I wonder why they didn't put them here. It's kind of a waste of a wall. But they found an even better solution, and we'll show that to you as we make our tour around through this fifth wheel. Now, the first thing you'll notice is this blank wall that I just pointed out, and they went ahead and put a mirror on here, which is a good idea because when you have a mirror on a big wall, it does make the entire room seem much, much larger. And so I think that's what they were trying to do here. And then you wrap your way into the dinette area. Now, this dinette is really cool. It's a little better than a bench seat dinette, but it's kind of got the best of both worlds, right? One side, it does have the bench seat. The other side, it has 2 independent chairs. And 4 people could sit at this table, but probably not very comfortably, right? You kind of be, you know, a little bit jammed in. So they have a good solution to that problem too. You just lift your table slide this out, lower your table down, and there you go. Now we have a nice extended table. And one other really cool thing is that the dinette booth over here is an independent booth seat as well, so you can slide this around if you want to center it better so that, you know, I could sit on this end and I have plenty of room. Someone else could sit here and they would have plenty of room. I mean, it really, really works very well. Another thing that I like about the dinette is you have the upgraded lighting overhead. It just gives it a little bit more of a luxurious feel. And then of course you've got all these big panoramic windows all around that just let in a ton of light and make it feel nice and bright and open and airy in here. There's one other feature about the dinette. Get on in there. And that is the dinette booth itself is on a hinge and it will pop right up. And then it's finished really nicely inside, so you can store things in there. Just an extra place to help hide things away. You know, maybe you have blankets or pillows, I don't know. But you do have that space to store in there. Now, if you happen to work at your dinette like we do all the time on the road, or you're doing some trip planning, or I don't know what it could be. You might need to plug something in, a computer, a phone, a tablet, you want to charge it. You've got a couple options here. Just on my left-hand side, there are a couple of USB ports that you can use to charge things. And then on the other side of the dinette, down towards the floor, there is an electrical receptacle there. So if you need to plug in a charger to charge your computer or what have you, everything's very accessible. Now here I am at the kitchen area right across from the dinette, and the first thing you'll notice is on the other side of the kitchen cabinets right next to the entry door, there is a cabinet location that you can access right there. So you might want to use that, I don't know, you could use it for throwing some shoes in there or all kinds of things that you might need to grab while you're outside. You know, maybe you keep bug spray, your lighters, a lantern, stuff like that right there. You can kick your shoes underneath and everything's accessible for the outside of your camper that way. Now the kitchen itself in here is very nice and compact, but I think they did a really good job with the space. This is an L-shaped kitchen setup, and the big benefit of an L-shaped kitchen is you get more countertop space and a bigger sink usually as well. As you can see, they have a pretty good size double bowl sink in here now with a nice gooseneck faucet and an integral sprayer. And then you've got some extra counter space to the right of that. There's actually a receptacle located right up under here, so if you wanted to set up your coffee pot, toaster, blender, whatever you need, you're all set for that. And you have a little window over top of the countertop as well, just to bring in some additional light. As we wrap on around, that's where you have your 3-burner propane stove. And then below that, you have a real oven in here. So you can bake a pizza or some cookies. It's not really tall, but it's good enough to do some basic baking while you're away. And then they have a full bank of drawers, actually 2 of them. They are full extension drawers, which means the back of the drawer pulls all the way to the face of the cabinetry, so you can access everything in your drawer. It's very, very nice. And you have 3 on one side, 2 on the other, so you have plenty of location here for all your kitchen utensils. There's even a little open storage area under the sink. You could keep some dishwashing liquid and things like that down there. Now up above, we have a smaller sized microwave oven in here. A little compact, not really huge, but it'll do the job. And then we have a big storage cabinet up top and 2 more storage cabinets to the left of that. Now to the right here is where your refrigerator is located. This is a good sized fridge. It's a 12-volt fridge, which means it runs on your battery. Your battery also charges when you're plugged into shore power. So this always runs on battery power, but the shore power charges your battery. So that's what makes it last so long while you're plugged into shore power. When you're offshore power, your battery's running it the whole way, which is great because when you're on the road, your fridge can stay cold. Even if you have a long 5 or 6 hour trip, your fridge will stay running the whole entire time. Now, just above the fridge, another really large storage cabinet up here. And below the fridge, there's a drawer that pulls out for even more storage down below. So here we are now in the living area of this fifth wheel. We're just beyond the kitchen and across from the refrigerator. And they've got a couple of movie theater style seats in here, cup holder on each end. These babies do recline, which is really nice. And even the backs go back. So you can get nice and comfy while you're watching the TV right across from you. And these are pretty comfy chairs, I have to say. In the middle here, there is a little spot where you can use it to store all of your remote controls and stuff like that. And then, of course, If you need any access, you've got a couple of USB ports here so you can plug in if you're doing anything here on the couch. And as I mentioned earlier, there's another receptacle towards the floor between the couch and the dinette area. So if you need to plug something in, you have that access as well. Now, you also notice that we have a nice fireplace here on the right. Sound bar is mounted right here for the TV. And then above that, you have this nice little shelf here that you can decorate any way you'd like. There's also a receptacle and USB ports here as well. And then a window there, a light above, and then even more storage in the cabinet up here. And then the rest of the entertainment center is here in the corner. And you've got these nice black inlaid doors. One thing I like about this too is that they went and used a different color cabinet here from the kitchen area just to help create some of that separation. I'm not sure why they stuck with the white over here. They could have done that in brown as well to really keep it separate, but it doesn't matter. It all goes together really well and it looks just great. TV's in a perfect spot. And then down below that, you've got some shallow storage as well, I guess for videos or DVDs. I don't know. Does anybody use those anymore? Kids games for their computers. I don't know. Everything's online, so I don't really know what you would store in there because it's so skinny. But now, I mentioned earlier that the big wall when you first walk in didn't have any storage there, which we expected we would see. So Jayco's done a great job with it because they've created this corner alcove storage area. And you can see you have a ton of storage in there with all these built-in shelves. Even has a light inside the closet so you can see better. And then they even added some coat hooks on the back of the TV door so you can hang up some jackets in here. So you can use it as your coat closet, your pantry, and any kind of extra storage that you would need. I love this setup. It's very, very well done. So here we are in the owner's bedroom, all the way in the front of this fifth wheel. And, you know, it's a decent sized bedroom in here. It's got a good sized bed. Let's see what size this bed is real quick. It is 80 inches, which is fantastic for you taller folks. And it's about 60 inches wide. So this would be considered a residential queen-sized bed. One other nice feature about the bed is that it does lift up, and then you have plenty of storage access under there. Now at the head of the bed, it's got this open cubby area, and you could throw your phone in there or tablet or whatever if you need to charge it overnight while you're sleeping or use it as your alarm clock like we do. And then you have a receptacle on each side of the bed so that you can plug in all those electrical appliances. You also have a couple of lights overhead with a switch right here, which is very, very handy. And then next to that, you've got a couple of mirrored cabinets. Now these have a shelf in here, but you can remove the shelf if you'd like to or leave them in. It just gives you a little more storage on each side of the bed. Finally, you've got some really nice end tables in here with drawer storage built into them. So that's a nice feature. So if you had a CPAP machine or something like that, you could put it here, plug it in, and you are good to go while you're in bed. Now, you'll also notice in here that there are windows on each side of the bedroom. So if you want to open them up, get a little bit of fresh air in here, you can get a nice cross breeze. Now straight ahead here at the end of the bed is where another really good sized closet is located. Now this closet has a really large removable shelf in here. So you can use it to stack things on the shelves, or you can remove the shelf and use the bar from the top to hang all of your garments there. And you can even access it from the bathroom. Now down below this cabinet, there are a couple of deep drawers as well, so you have even more storage there. And then you've got your TV location right next to that, and they've done a good job building it all in, making it look like it belongs here. They even went ahead and put the receptacle and cable access in the built-in part of it, so it's not on the ceiling, like that's what we see in most RVs. So it just looks a lot nicer, a lot more finished. And then down below here, they just put a few coat hooks along here that you could use to hang up some jackets or a fleece or whatever you want, so it's out of the way. So very nicely done up here in the bedroom. So here we are in the bathroom, which is just outside of the owner's bedroom and upstairs from the entry door. And this is a good sized bathroom in here, and I'm always standing in the shower, you know, when I do these tours, and you guys know I'm 5'11", but there's a good amount of headspace in here. They have a skylight in here, and the headspace up into the skylight, gosh, I mean, it's you know, 6 feet 7 inches. The headspace in the regular bathroom and bedroom part is about 6 feet 4 inches. So for you taller folks, you know, might be a little bit cramped in here, but for most folks, I think it would work just fine. Now, one thing Jayco did in here is they put in a nice shower surround, and I just think it really makes the bathroom pop. You know, when you first look in here, it looks luxurious. You see this, you know, marble finish in here. It looks really nice. I think they did a great job with that. The shower stall itself is a good size. I can stand in here and I don't feel cramped at all. The only thing that's really missing is like a shelf for your soap and shampoo or something along those lines. So we have the same situation in our shower, and well, we actually have corner shelves, but we needed more storage space. So Susan bought a little shelf that attaches right to the wall, and we put our shampoos and stuff in there, and it works just great. So I would imagine you could do the same exact thing here. They have a really nice tri-slide glass door in here to give it that luxurious feel. And then just outside of the shower, this is where your vanity and medicine cabinet are all located. So medicine cabinet with a nice big mirror. And you can see all the glass is kind of frosted over. It's very humid down here in Florida today. It's been raining and now it's kind of warming up, so we're getting very humid. Now, just below the medicine cabinet here, we've got a little towel ring. We have a really nice looking countertop with a vanity sink, a lot of countertop space around it. There's also a receptacle to the right, so if you need to plug in any appliances, you can do that. And then down below the sink, there's more storage down here as well. Now, just to my left is where you saw in the bedroom where you can access this cabinet from either side, either the bedroom or the bathroom. It's such a deep cabinet that it really makes sense for them to do this because you can more easily access everything from both sides. And then finally, here I am on the commode. This has a barn door that will slide and close for you, and it'll give you a little bit more elbow room on the right. On the left-hand side, though, we are definitely passing the elbow test. So here we are at the front of this fifth wheel, and as you can see, it's got this nice big pass-through storage area. Now, on my side of the compartment is where your controls are for your black and gray tank. You also have your shower system over here as well, and there's a receptacle and a light. On the other side of the compartment, though, there's a receptacle and a cable and USB ports over there. And there's even a little access panel, so if you do want to set up your TV outside, you can run all your cables into this area, keep the door shut, and be able to watch TV and have a great time hanging out. At the very front of this rig is where the battery compartment is located, very common, but there's also more storage space here too. This fifth wheel is the Forest River Rockwood, model number R281RK. It has an unloaded vehicle weight of 8,247 pounds, a cargo carry capacity of 1,589 pounds, for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 9,836 pounds. The hitch weight is 1,236 pounds. It measures in at 28 feet 11 inches long, and it can sleep up to 4 people. When you first walk into this fifth wheel on the right-hand side, you would walk upstairs and find your bedroom and bathroom. Then, if you walk straight ahead, you walk into the living and the kitchen area. Now, when we first walked into this fifth wheel, our first impression was, wow, this is a really cool setup, especially in the living and kitchen area here. But the entire fifth wheel is full of really great features that make this an awesome living space. So we'll get started right here in the kitchen. And the first thing you'll notice is that you have this big, giant U-shaped countertop area. So you have a big U-shaped kitchen in here, which is a really, really nice feature. Now, there is no dinette. And so what they've done instead is they've made a nice countertop overhang, put a couple of freestanding chairs here, and then this becomes your dinette or even your workstation if you needed to. Now, as we wrap on around, we have a TV here, which is really in a great spot because it's directly across from your nice, comfy movie theater style seating. And then next to that, we have a really nice residential sized microwave oven here. Above here, you have a cabinet. It's a little smaller. You could store all kinds of stuff up there, maybe cookie sheets and stuff like that. But then there's all kinds of cabinetry here that's built in. I love these glass inlaid doors. They just look very, very nice and luxurious. But there's just a ton of storage space in here with a built-in shelf in the middle to give you a lot of space. Now, as we drop down into the countertop area, they feature a very large single bowl sink here. Of course, you have your dish drains on top, gooseneck faucet, and then a integral sprayer that you can pull out when you clean up all your dishes. There's also a window over top of the sink, which is always a plus in my opinion. Now, as we wrap on around the counter, they've got a tower of power back here in the corner, which is a great spot because if you wanted to set up a toaster, oven, crock pot, air fryer, whatever, you can put all that right in here and make it go. There's also another window above this section of countertop before we get to the 3-burner range, and this lifts right up. Nice big range, large burner in the front, 2 smaller ones in the back, but this has the biggest oven I think we've seen so far at the Hershey RV show anyway. This oven is like a residential sized oven. Maybe it's not as wide as one, but certainly as deep as one. You could put 2 oven racks in here and bake double batches of cookies or 2 pizzas at one time if you prefer. Now, just next to the oven is a bank of 4 drawers so you can store all your kitchen utensils. Now, the top drawer has this really great utensil divider built in, and when you close these drawers, they have the soft close or soft touch close. Very nice feature. There you go. It just closes very softly. Great job on the drawer setup. And then on the one other thing is there's also an outlet here. And there's not one on the other side of the bar, but if you're sitting here and doing some trip planning or whatever, you got your computer out, maybe doing some work, you could at least plug in on this side and keep your computers charged. Also under the sink, there's a ton of storage under here. There is no like pots and pans drawer per se in here, but you could put a bin under there and store all your pots and pans in there. We have a trash can in there, just tons of storage. It goes all the way back as well. And then finally, we get to the refrigerator. Now, above the refrigerator, there's a very large storage cabinet up there with a beautiful glass inlay door. The fridge itself is a 12-volt fridge, very large and spacious, separate freezer from the refrigerator, so very nice job there. And then there's even one more storage drawer down below the fridge. So to finish off the kitchen and living area, they have all this great built-in cabinetry over here, and it really just completes the room. You know, it brings it all the way around and it looks fantastic. On your right-hand side, you have this upper cabinet that is lit on the inside, which is a very nice little feature. Down below that, they have a tower of power here on this countertop, so you could put whatever, an alarm clock or even some kitchen appliances could go here. I don't know.
Maybe a coffee bar.
Maybe a coffee bar. Yeah, that's a great idea. And down below that, even more storage for you down there. And then right next to that is this gigantic, I guess we'll call it a pantry cabinet. It's also got a light inside to keep it very well lit. It's very deep. You could store a ton of stuff in there, and there's even more storage on the floor. Now, I do want to point one thing out. That little grill right there, that wooden piece, is your cold air return. So if it's cold and you're running your furnace, you'll want to make sure that anything you store in here does not block that, because it needs to suck air in to the furnace so it can blow it out through all the vents. And if you block that, your furnace will not work correctly. In fact, you could even cause it some damage. So just be careful of that if you see those cold air returns somewhere in your rig. Now, in addition to this big spacious pantry cabinet below, you even have more space up above. Honey, I think I might have just found us a new set of recliners. This movie theater seating is very, very comfortable. You know, it's got a little pull cord on the side here, and the leg rest pops right out. You put your pillow behind your head, and you're just in heaven relaxing. Now, this is a perfect spot for this because, as we showed earlier, it's directly across from the TV. This also has a spot right here. You just put your cell phone right on there and it'll charge your phone for you. Of course, there's a middle spot with the console, so you can put all your remotes in there so that you don't lose them. And really, it's just a great feel. And then one last nice feature just to top it all off is the ceiling fan in the middle of the kitchen. You can sit here, relax, or be cooking, and the ceiling fan's on, keeping you cool. What a great setup. Now, here we are in the very front of this fifth wheel, and, you know, headroom is a premium in the front of a fifth wheel, so I'm, you know, just kind of hitting my head on the ceiling a little bit. So whoever sleeps on this side of the bed is probably going to be the shorter of the two of you. The taller person could sleep on that side because there's a little more headroom over there, because there is a little platform you have to stand on here in front of the closet area. But the bed itself is in a great spot. Let's see how big it is. It is 80 inches. By 60 inches. So we have a residential size queen bed in here. I don't know for sure, but it looks to me, because there's a little space on each side of the bed, that If you wanted to upgrade to a king, that may be a possibility because the space is certainly there for it. But I'm not positive about that. You'll have to check with your dealer on that one. Now, the bed itself has a really nice headboard behind it. There's a window on each side so you can get some cross ventilation. There's also a little shelf here with a receptacle and USB port on both sides. So if you want to charge your Kindle or your cell phone overnight while you're sleeping, you can easily do so on either side of the bed. One other really nice feature with this bed is it does lift up, which gives you extra storage underneath of your bed. Now, just next to the bed, they have these sliding glass doors here, which are really beautiful. They're like a black glass, so it looks nice and, you know, really luxurious. When you open these doors, there's a lot of space inside of here. First of all, you have an open shelf up top. Below that, there's a little rack here, so you can hang all your garments in here. And then below that, there's another little drawer down below on both sides, so you even have a little additional storage there. And then next to that, you have this very large cabinet to store things with 2 drawers below that as well. And then as we wrap on around, we have our TV location here. Great spot right across from the bed. Electrical and cable rough-ins are provided so you can mount your TV there. And then they have this nice dresser with 3 large drawers down below. And there's even a receptacle and USB port on the side of this. So if you want to put a clock or something here, you can plug it right in. Everything is very convenient. I decided to take a seat. I've been touring RVs all day. I am tired. And this shower happens to have a seat in it, which is really kind of a cool thing. You know, if you have a bad knee or a bad hip or something and you need to sit down while you're taking a shower, this is a great shower setup for that. Or, you know, for you ladies, if you need to shave your legs, you know, you can put your leg up and shave. I don't know. I don't really know how that works. Susan could get into that with you. But anyway, great size shower in here. It's about 4 feet by about 2.5, almost 3 feet wide. Very nice setup. I love the glass doors because it gives you a nice finish in here. And then the shower head assembly and the soap dish and all that is higher end and adjustable. Plus you have 3 more shelves for soap and shampoo bottles and things like that. Now, as you guys know, I'm 5'11", and standing in the shower here, let's see how much headroom we have up into this skylight. It looks like a really, really good amount of headroom. And sure enough, it is. It's 6 feet 10 inches into this skylight. So for you taller folks, that is good news. Now, the regular ceiling height in the bathroom is 6 feet 7 inches. So plenty of room inside of here. That is for sure. Now, just outside the shower, we have this nice medicine cabinet with some open storage off to the side. There's also a light strip above. And then when you open it up, you have 1, 2, 3 shelves inside, which is great. That gives you a lot of room to store things and make the most of the space. The countertop area, or the vanity top area, I should say, is a good size. You have lots of counter space around your vanity sink. There's also a receptacle right here on the side, so you can plug in a shaver, blow dryer, curling iron, whatever you need. And then there's additional storage below the sink. So right next to me, while I'm sitting on the commode, there is a little storage cabinet up here. And I shouldn't say little because it's as deep as the shower. So almost 3 feet deep for all your linen storage or TP or tank chemicals or whatever you need up there. There is a little towel hook behind my head here. And then one really, really cool feature in this bathroom is there's a max air fan in here and there's a remote control for it. So if you're sitting on the commode and, well, you know, things get a little out of control, you can just open it up and turn on the fan in here while you're sitting right down. Anyway, as far as the elbow test goes, well, I'm not going to pass it, but when the door's closed, the bathroom is so big, it really feels nice and spacious in here. So here we are at the very front of this fifth wheel, and as you can see, there is a large amount of pass-through storage up here for all of your RV gear. There's also a receptacle and a cable outlet in here. And if you guys are familiar with Miller's in Motion, they have a fifth wheel with a receptacle and cable there, and they mount their TV under here. I sat out one day with Ryan and watched a football game. It was fantastic. Hey guys, let us know which one of these fifth wheels you like the most and why in the comments down below. We're seeing more and more fifth wheels under 30 feet at RV shows and dealerships, and we would love to hear what you have to say about them as well. And if you'd like to check out even more fifth wheels that are under 30 feet long, just click the box down below, and Susan and I will see you in the next video.